Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm back with you once again because, to be honest, I wanted to answer a question that I've kind of. One of the benefits of why I wanted to do this channel, Peace of Mind, is because I wanted this to be like a safe haven, sort of like a safe space on the internet where people are allowed to express their thoughts, to express their opinions, to feel they are safe and comfortable. Consider this like a safe haven, somewhere safe, a refuge, a sanctuary, if you will. Maybe that's putting a bit too much hyperbole on it, but it's the least I can do. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, I feel extraordinarily fortunate and very, very grateful in being able to do this. Because now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go one further with this channel. And I absolutely love reading from the Bible and talking to you fine ladies and gentlemen at home. I really do. And one thing I've gotten used to is sharing my stuff on Reddit, maybe just to see what happens. Because to be honest, there's no harm in doing it. And if I get to spread the word of God the way I know how, and maybe that's what it takes. Maybe that's just all it takes. You never know, ladies and gentlemen. You never know. Meanwhile, there is only one other thing I kind of wanted to state just for now. There are I will get into the rhythm, ladies and gentlemen, of making a lot longer and a lot more deeply philosophical videos, because that's one of the sort of things I really, really want to do. I want to not only learn from what I already know, but I want to know more about what I didn't know before. And, I've shown you guys this before, but I have almost an entirely library section, a little one up there, because all of those really are my non-fictional stuff, and all things up there are my fictional stuff, including a huge block of 20th century poetry. And one thing in particular, because one of the things you'll come to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that you'll never quite understand exactly what you can find in a book. And of course, I have my huge white dictionary in there. Maybe I should buy my own dictionary. Maybe I should get a nice King James or a Rainbow edition of the Bible. And if we just open up the Dictionary of Saints just for 1 second, let's just see what we get. Okay, here we are. Saint Monica, 332 to 87 BC. I think this, yeah, BC. Widow born probably at Tasgate, North Africa. Monica was married to Patricius, described variously as a pagan or as a nominal Christian, but who was certainly dissolute and violent in temper. Her mother-in-law lived in the house with them and added to her difficulties. Monica, who had early overcome a tendency to heavy drinking, by her patient persistence won both her mother-in-law and her husband, who, although frequently unfaithful, never struck her or physically ill-treated her. He was baptized in 370 and died the following year. Monica was the mother of 3 children, Augustine, Navigius, and Perpetus. As the mother of Augustine, she is especially famous in her patient treatment of him over many years of anxiety ended by his conversion. She is seen as the model of Christian mothers. Most of our information about her comes from Augustine's Confessions, Book 9. When he was young, she had enrolled him as a clergyman according to contemporary custom. But his irregular life caused her so much suffering that she once refused to allow him to live in her house. But she soon relented, realizing, though a priest, that the time for his conversion had not yet come. She gave up arguing with him or asking others to do so, and turned instead to prayer, fasts, and vigils, hoping that they would succeed where argument had failed. Eventually, Augustine went to Rome, deceiving her about the time of his departure in order to travel alone. He went on to Milan, but Monica followed him. She was highly esteemed by its bishop, Ambrose, who also helped Augustine towards a deep moral conversion besides acceptance of the Christian faith. This took place in 386. As a consequence, Augustine renounced also his mother's plans for his marriage, deciding to remain celibate. With Monica and a few chosen friends, he went away for a period of preparation for baptism. The dialogues of this little group of friends were recorded by Augustine in his De Vitae and other opuscles. Augustine was baptized in 387. Monica and his friends set out on the journey to Africa with him, but she died on the way to Ostia. Just before her last illness, she said to him, "Nothing in this world now gives me pleasure. I do not know where there is left for me to do or why I am still here. All my hopes in this world are now fulfilled. All I wished to live for was to see you a Catholic and a child of heaven. God has granted me more than this in making you despise earthly happiness and consecrate yourself to his service." She died at the age of 55 and was buried at Ostia. There seems to have been no earlier cult of her, but in 1162 her relics were translated to Arles, where the Augustine canons kept her feast on the 4th of May, the day before the conversion of St. Augustine. From this house, the cult spread to others of the same order. In 1430, it received fresh impetus from the translation of other relics from Ostia to Rome, where the last in the Church of St. Augustino, in the Reformed Roman calendar, her feast is on the 27th of August. That's really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I must admit, the saint of all mothers and a woman from North Africa is that. See, again, it's the stuff you just learn from that immediately, and that's fantastic. And also, it sets almost a very interesting dialogue of the relationship between mother to son, whilst maintaining not just by keeping faith almost in the forefront of every decision. I think it's fascinating. I really do, and certainly if I get the time, I certainly would like to maybe possibly do more, do the entire dictionary from from front to back, and just talk about them, just see what the impression of them is. Because, and I've mentioned this before, my father actually has a degree in divinity, and maybe it was something I wanted to go talk to him about. You never know, ladies and gentlemen, there could be something in it. So rest assured, that might give you a little bit of something else to think about, perhaps during our very busy and hectic lives. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.